Shakespeare's Othello. Summary of Act 1. Let's get this started with. Now, for practical drawing purposes, I'm going to use a whiteboard this time. Let's get this started with. Here are the characters you are going to need to know before I go ahead and start summarizing Act 1. This is Iago, our main character and also the villain of the story. This is Othello, a respected general of the Venetian army, but he is considered an outsider of the Venetians, mainly because he is a Moor. Here is Desdemona. Desdemona is the daughter of a prominent Venetian senator, and she is also the wife of Othello, even though she is white and he is black. This is Emilia, and she is the wife of Iago. And this is Cassio, who has been helping Othello and Desdemona meet each other secretly. He is overall a good guy as well as a ladies' man. So this is Act 1. At the start of the play, this is basically what happens. There is a little bit of a talk between Iago and this guy named Rodrigo. I should probably mention Rodrigo. This is Rodrigo. He is a person who wants to win Desdemona, but he loves Desdemona, but he realizes that she has married Othello, so he's kind of mad towards someone. Here is the story. So Rodrigo right here and Iago, who's over here, are actually talking a bit too much. And he's all like, alright Othello, I gave you a bunch of my money, and I still am no closer to winning over Desdemona. Also, why the heck didn't you tell me that Desdemona and Othello have went ahead and married each other? I've been trying to go ahead and try to get her on my side, right? And Iago's all like, yeah, sure, but keep giving me money because I have an idea. You see the house we're in front of? Yeah, it's a senator's house. Well, that senator's house, the senator that lives in his house is Desdemona's father. We're just going to tell him about the marriage, and he'll be so against it. Oh, nice job, nice thinking, Iago. So they go in front of the house, and they go ahead and just shout insults about Othello. And he and Desdemona going ahead and hooking up. This rouses the senator from his bed, who's kind of annoyed. He recognizes Rodrigo, but he doesn't recognize Iago. Rodrigo explains the situation, which Brabantio, the senator's name, does not believe at all. But later he goes ahead and starts taking it serious, so he goes inside to check, goes ahead and realizes she is missing, and tells Rodrigo and Iago that he's going to come to Othello's place with a bunch of men to arrest him. So while Brabantio is going ahead and getting ready, Iago goes ahead and runs away to warn Othello, mainly because he needs to keep up his act. Then we go ahead and move on to Othello's lodgings. Iago comes and arrives, and he's like, Othello, there's a bunch of men coming here to arrest you. And Othello's all like, it doesn't really matter. Then Iago sees a bunch of men coming in the distance, and he tries to get Othello to come inside. Othello refuses, until they realize that the men are not Brabantio's men, but they are messengers from the senators of Venice, who urgently need him to go ahead and to go to Cyprus for military stuff because the Turks might invade. Of course, Othello basically says, of course, I'm coming. And then Brabantio's men appear with Rodrigo at his side, Brabantio and a bunch of his men with a bunch of weapons, and then Brabantio's like, alright Othello, I'm arresting you for using witchcraft to lure my daughter. She will never love a black man. Othello then proceeds to show him the message from the Duke. And Brabantio's like, let's just go ahead and put this matter along with the Duke as well. I'll get you arrested, Othello. Meanwhile, the Dukes are going ahead and discussing battle plans. A messenger arrives, informing them that the Turks have instead changed their course from Cyprus to another island. One of the senators say that this is a trick, they'll go attack Cyprus anyway. 2 minutes later, another messenger comes in, and then they tell him that the Turks have went ahead and restarted their route back towards Cyprus. And that is when Othello's party comes along. Brabantio goes ahead and tells them, a black man has bewitched my daughter into going ahead and marrying him. The senators are like, yep, let's just go ahead and arrest him. And then they ask, who's the black man? And Brabantio says, him, Othello, and they're like, wait a second, we need Othello. Are you sure Othello used witchcraft? And he's like, I'm positive. Let's go get Desdemona to confirm that. Desdemona comes in and confirms the story, which Othello has already told, that saying that he has told his adventure story to Desdemona, who fell in love with him. The senators decide that this marriage was out of mutual choice and let the party go, and they're like, alright, Othello, you may take a ride to Cyprus because, well, Desdemona wants to go to Cyprus. Robancio will not accept Desdemona inside his own house, and Othello wants Desdemona in Cyprus as well. So the senators agree, and then they go ahead and head off to Cyprus, which is basically where the end of Act 1 is, where they go ahead and climb on a ship, with Iago going ahead and recommending Rodrigo, who's still kind of crestfallen that he still has not won over Desdemona's hearts, by telling him, this is Iago, this is Rodrigo, go ahead and go to Cyprus with them, which Rodrigo swiftly agrees to do so. Iago himself will also go to Cyprus. And that is the end of Act 1. I'll see you guys soon in the summary of Act 2, and until then, shine out, peace, bye bye!